Have you ever felt insecure when you're out in public about your body or your personality? You're in class and you have to give a speech, and all you're worried about is your hair or your body or the way you look. Every time you talk to somebody, you're just worried about your personality. You get constant social anxiety. You just hate the way you are and you want to change. You want to be better. You want to be respected. You want to be loved. You want to be seen as different than what you actually are. Why do you feel this way? Why do you feel so insecure? Why do you feel so unconfident? Why do you feel so unconfident about yourself, the person you are? Why is that? Before I get into the harsh reality of that and how to actually be more confident, which is actually very simple, I want to share some stories about how I've always felt very um, not confident and very insecure, and it ruined my life. So, growing up, I had a disorder called trichotillomania, which basically is a disorder where you pick at your own hair and pull your hair out as kind of like a OCD, obsessive compulsive kind of response to stress, anxiety, or lack of stimulation or too much stimulation. Whatever it is, for some reason, I always picked out my hair, specifically my eyebrows and my eyelashes. Now, when I was really young, I'd say about fifth or sixth grade, which was a very stressful time in my life because I was going through my parents divorcing, and I just got in like a year or two before that, I was in the hospital for a long time, and I got really fat and chubby because of the steroids and the overeating from the medicine. So I was already insecure about my body and the way shirts fit me and just the the chubby rolls on my stomach. I was very insecure about that as a kid. Even worse, though, is the fact that I was missing eyelashes and eyebrows. I had to go to school with no eyebrows and no eyelashes because I picked off every single one of them. I was so stressed, so anxious, that I picked off every single eyelash. I looked like a freak. And as you'd expect, because I looked like one, I got treated like one. And people didn't respect me, people laughed at me, I got bullied in school, I was harassed constantly, made fun of. And of course, when I got to middle school, I got very violent. I would fight the people that would make fun of me. And I didn't get along with anybody, I couldn't make friends, I was alone. And it ruined my self esteem. It ruined my confidence. I didn't think I could ever make friends. I didn't think I could have a connection with anybody. I didn't think I could be loved. Genuinely didn't think I could be loved. I thought I looked weird. I constantly was self conscious about my fat and losing weight and getting in shape. And even when I started playing basketball and I got really in shape cardio wise, I still felt very self conscious about myself. Now, that's a very extreme example, but a lot of times we feel anxiety or insecurity about very stupid things like our hair, the way we dress, our fashion, our interests, our hobbies, our personality, little quirks we have. Stupid things that actually are very desirable to certain people. For example, you might be self conscious about your freckles, but there's somebody out there who would love your freckles. You might be self conscious about your your weird overuse of a certain word, like, or catchphrase, like awesome sauce. But there's somebody out there who would totally dig that, and yet you're still feeling insecure and self-conscious about it. Now, there's other things that are actually things that aren't desirable, like being fat, being unhealthy, being sick, brain fog, um, not being able to socialize with people, never being in the present moment. Those are things that we should probably feel self conscious about, and the reason why we feel self conscious is because we need to change those things. That is the harsh reality. Another thing that is devastating about having a lack of confidence and insecurity is the fact that it takes us out of the present moment. I've talked about this in a million different videos, but if you're new here, basically living life as much as you can in the present moment is what leads to happiness. And in all areas of life, you're more mentally healthy and happier when you are living life as much in the present moment as possible. Now, anxiety and fear take us out of the present moment, but so do self-consciousness, so does living in our head all day because we're worried about how we look or how we're dressed, or if we're going to have to answer a question in class, if we're going to be awkward when talking to that one person. When we feel this way, we are living life outside of the present moment, and actually we are living life in our head. In survival mode, but in our head, which is not good for our mental health, for who we are, for happiness, for any metric. It is not good for you to be living life stuck in your head. We need to live life as much as we can in the present moment. The way we do this is by improving ourselves. Let me explain. Having confidence in public comes from discipline in private. The truth is, we don't like who we are. Sometimes that's irrational, sometimes it is rational. The devastating thing is that life is hard. I'm going to preface with this. I'm going to preface with the fact that life is hard. And if you're pulling your hair out and you look like a freak because you're missing all your hair, unfortunately, that is something you need to improve on and work on and stop doing. That is a shortcoming that unfortunately you are left to deal with, but it's something you still have to deal with. If you're fat, unfortunately you have to get in shape. You have to be driven by the pain and fix your life. I'm telling you, you cannot feel unconfident and insecure when you have big biceps, big shoulders, when you feel muscular and you're in shape and your belly fat doesn't roll over and you feel pretty good. You feel healthy. You feel like you could run a mile. You feel like you could do a couple push-ups if need be. You feel like you can live life. You can go on a hike without getting out of breath. You can challenge yourself, push yourself, discipline yourself. The truth is, the more we discipline ourselves, the more we push ourselves, the more we grow as people, the more we experience life, the more we do all these things, the more confident we are. If you're in your room all day doom scrolling or playing video games, well, that's probably why you're not very confident. You need to go experience life and then also improve your life and grow and be better. Objectively better. It's hard it's hard because we live in fat acceptance culture and a culture that tells us that we're good the way we are. But how can we be good the way we are when we're miserable the way we are? Something needs to change, and it can't be our mindset. Otherwise, we are living a lie, and our body and our mind knows that. It knows that we're living a lie. So we need to improve our life. We need to take action. We need to be disciplined and actually achieve goals. Achieve fat loss, achieve muscle growth, achieve skill points towards socializing. Yes, you can literally improve socializing by just doing it and improving the skill. Maybe reading books on how to make friends, how to influence people, how to be of value to people. Of course, you're valuable the way you are. Trust me, you're a human soul. You are valuable. But this world is hard. This world is not easy. And our mind can be our greatest weapon against us. So we need to improve our life. We need to push ourselves towards growth, improvement, health, all these things. The better we are objectively, the more objectively we're just going to have more confidence and more happiness in life. Our mental health is just going to be better. That is a simple fact of the matter. There's no looks maxing thing you can do. There's no little life hack you can do. Oh, if I do this, then if I avoid people, or if I can avoid, or if I can get out of doing this speech in class. Trust me, man, there's always going to be public speaking opportunities. There's always going to be opportunities in life where you have to public speak, where you have to give a speech, where you have to talk to people, where you have to communicate. You can't escape this. You can't run away your entire life and hide. You have to become stronger. You have to grow. You have to get better. If you want to become more confident, then you simply just have to be better. look better, feel better, be healthier, have a growth mindset, experience life, live in the present moment, practice meditation so you can be more present naturally. Living life in the present is a beautiful thing because then we're not anxious and stuck in our head, and we actually get to enjoy life because we're living it. We're not living life if we're in our head, thinking about random stuff. We're living life when we're actually in the moment, and the only way you can do that is by getting rid of these intrusive thoughts, these self-deprecating thoughts. And the way we do that is by just being better, growing, getting stronger. I know it's a hard pill to swallow for some people, and I know sometimes it's something you truly can't control. You can improve on it, you can try, and maybe you'll make some progress. If it is truly something you can't control, like a disability, then changing your mindset about that thing, or just simply meditating and living life more in the present, will help with that just a little bit. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys in this video. If you want to join a community of like-minded people who are also trying to improve their life and do better, and it's just a beautiful community of people trying to improve, so consider joining the Discord link in the description below. It is completely free at the moment, and I think it will truly help you. So with that being said, I love you all, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.